soon as you were able to do the first couple games, switched up a little bit on you. When you guys are game planning against you like that, how can you guys that team to keep the connection like that against you?
I mean, I think it's just staying engaged. I mean, I think the biggest thing, especially in a game like last weekend, I was just trying to be, I've talked about to you guys about being a 3-down tight end. I mean, I think just doing my job, and whether that's blocking, running routes, or whatever it is. So I mean, I think the biggest thing is just staying with it. And I mean, like I said, I'm not discouraged by last week. We about came out with the win, so that's really all that matters. I mean, I think whatever I can do to help that, and whether that's catching the ball and running with it, or if that's getting Swift off my hip or Dub Williams off my hip and just scoring. So I mean, I think that's the biggest thing, especially in this league. And you're not gonna have those 100-yard games every game. So I think that's just something that you have to keep honing in on. So.
So you guys are just to get that first win going, just like how much is that win you guys just trying to get that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think, we've talked about this before, in years past, is wins in this league are hard to come by, and, you just have to, you have to keep grinding and have to keep pushing in order to get them. And so, we're not going to come by one. It's not just going to be handed to us, and, we got to take one. And I think that's kind of our mindset in this entire building is we got to take a win. We're not going to be handed one. We're not going to be given one, and it's not going to come easy. It's just we just got to take it. So I think that's how we're approaching this game, and that's how we're approaching every other week coming forward. So
we were talking to your position coach yesterday, and after talking about your route running with you last week, he was really complimentary of the strides and the consistency you've made with your blocking, your run blocking. So I'm curious, where have you seen yourself grow there, and maybe what do you attribute that to?
I mean, I think honestly, Coach Johnson has done a really good job, telling me where the ball should go in certain situations, certain runs. I mean, there's different types of runs. I think that's the biggest thing is outside zone, inside zone, gap schemes, different things like that. It's just where the runner's going to go and what you want to use against your defender and your defensive end and your backer is like, okay, so the ball's going to be, it should be cut up inside and we're arcing, things like that. I mean, there's one on the goal line where it's like it's an arc play, especially last week, and we're reading that defensive end, but there's two guys outside of me, so it's not a take read from the quarterback, So I'm trying to freeze that end as much as I can and arc for the safety outside, and one of them had me in man, so I went out to the corner, and just trying to hold that defensive end as much as I can, get Swift in the end zone, and so just things like that and tidbits like that have helped me a lot, and understanding where the back's going, 30, in inside zone and outside zone, and just using that leverage to my advantage, I think is the biggest thing. So,
what's the mindset factor? I think probably, as a young player, you're just trying to wait for things to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
How much more can you focus on just the mindset of dominating a run block at this?
I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, I've spent a lot of off seasons with George now, and our kind of motto is, the best feeling in the world is moving a guy from point A to point B against his will, and I think that's something that we live by, and that's something that I'm trying. You take into each run play, each play to heart, and is just trying to move a guy against his will. And I think that's just the biggest satisfaction in the game of football. So, I mean, that's definitely been a mindset of mine, growing up, growing through Iowa, and just living through that throughout the league. So.
You still rather have the touchdown springing block than the touchdown catch?
Yeah, I mean, I think pancaking a guy or having that touchdown block, that just kind of shows the heart and the fact that you love the game. Everybody wants to score a touchdown. Everybody wants to catch a ball, but not everybody wants to get down and dirty and wants to help their teammates. And I think that's kind of, that's how somebody loves the game. And I think that's kind of, that mindset. So.
Is there something satisfying about physically dominating your opponent?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that's the biggest satisfaction in the game of football is just, being able to move a guy, and he doesn't want to be moved. He's trying to make the play, and when you're able to push him and you're able to, inhibit him from making a tackle, that's just fun football, and that's something that I'm gonna continue to do. So.
You obviously affected the game, in the run blocking standpoint last game. But there are going to be times, obviously, when you're going to need a big catch here, and you're obviously one of those guys, and a big play guy for this team. How can you guys get more opportunities when teams are focusing in so close on you to prevent you from catching some passes? Is it just scheming up some stuff, being creative?
I think our coaching staff has done a good job in that fact. I mean, you can go back and look at the film. I think there's, times where, we probably could have, but the safety was playing over top, and just different reads. And that also goes with our, like if there's a guy one-on-one, we're gonna try and we're gonna assume that he's winning that. And there's a few times where it's like, yeah, I mean. You have to win a 2-on-1, and I'm not shy to that. I'm not. The safety can play over top, and the backer can play underneath, and I'm in my head I'm still winning that. And so I think that's that's a mindset that I have, especially in my situation, is I have to go into every week thinking that I'm gonna get doubled and I'm gonna have to beat that. And so that doesn't affect me at all. I mean that. So it's one of those things that, I think the coaches are going to do some stuff and try to figure out some stuff, but on the same hand, I just have to win. So, I mean, that doesn't bother me any, and I'm going to continue to win, and that's something that I just got to hold on myself. So.
Is it cyclical at all, I guess? Because we saw it even this past game, like you've got that extra attention, and Swift was open a couple times running in behind you or whatever. So now as teams adjust to that, will you see more space, or do you think defenses are just so honed in on you at this point that you're going to have that every week?
Yeah, I mean, they can't double two people. I mean, I think that's so it's. I think Swift did a really good job last week of being able to create space, and when he gets the ball in his hands, you don't know what's going to happen. And he's going to get dang close to scoring. So it's that's one of those guys that we want to get the ball in his hands, and. But yeah, I mean, I think, it depends on what they're thinking. We've had concepts where it's Swift and I are on the same side, and we're trying to figure out what they're doing, and or Swift and I are on split sides and figure out what they're doing. And so when you see that, you go into the game with a couple different things and a couple of depending on what they're doing and where they're at. But I mean, like I said, they can't double each of us. So whoever they're not, we got to win, and that's just how the game goes. So, I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not too worried about it. I think it was just 1 week. So.
Your coaches have been kind of harping on penalties as being the drive killers these last couple games, and I know there's been 3 false starts. You had one in week 2. Is there anything as you've looked at the film or reviewed what you guys are doing that's a factor on why maybe you guys are jumping early? Is it just getting comfortable in the offense still?
I mean, maybe, but at this point, I mean, I think it's just on us. We can't hurt ourselves in drives like that, especially when our head coach is going to go for it on 4th and 1. Like, I mean, that's just that's kind of a heart builder for us as a team. Like we want to do that, we want to be able to do that, and we love that our head coach is willing to do that, and so. When that happens, it's just a gut punch. So like we can't do that as a team, as a unit, and things are going to happen. Obviously, like, holdings, things like that are going to happen. But it's the mental errors and mental mistakes that we just can't have happen. So I think that we hold that on everybody, not just a couple guys. It's the entire unit that we have to hone in on. So. Yeah.